Missing the beat. Here it is. Absolutely incredible. Listen to this. Look at that. Here it is. No, ladies and gentlemen, you're not reading a mistake. It's not a misprint. That is the actual truth. And you're gonna hear and see why in about a minute. Incredible. Third of the police department under indictment. Third of East Cleveland police face charges for torture. That's the third of precinct. We have no idea how big is their precinct in East Cleveland, but that's a lot. That is a lot. Here we go.
Corruption. A third of an entire police department indicted.
Wow. A third of it.
We have much more detail today.
Yes, we do.
Picture full mask.
Here they are.
Now, you may be saying, wait a minute, Doc. This must be a very small police division, police department. No.
No.
A
third
of the East Cleveland
Police
Department has been indicted on various charges related to criminal police misconduct. Over the past 7 months, 16 officers have been charged with crimes, including the department's former police chief, Scott Gardner. Who we're looking at.
The guy you saw on the left.
I'm going to give you a hell of a background.
Here it comes.
In September, 5 East Cleveland cops were charged with crimes. Among that number was Scott Gardner, the former police chief, who was not on multiple counts of theft and fraud. The current move identified 11 more who exploited the power of the badge while policing. So many officers have now been indicted and accused of dishonoring the department. Only 24 officers remain eligible to work.
Now, did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? He just said it. So many officers have been indicted and accused of dishonoring the department that only 24, that's 24 officers remain eligible to work.
And hell, they could be indicted soon too.
Yeah.
Last week, let's put it up, we covered the police body cam footage that was released during a violation of a citizen's civil rights.
And I did a video about this last week. I'm on channel. It was about 7 minutes long of different acts. Yeah, remember this one right here where the cops repeatedly punching and beating and say, "Get that ass, get that ass." You know, this guy was face down, and an officer kicked him in the ribs and broke his ribs. We got another one there where a guy got kicked, and another guy who got tased repeated over and over. Yes.
Including kicking, stomping, and excessively beating suspects in custody, sometimes while the detainees are handcuffed on their
tasing
and complying.
Tase him over and over while in handcuffs.
Officers. None of it mattered to these cops. They were going to act in a criminal manner. The feds maintain the department is ridden with corruption and has tortured the residents they were sworn to serve and protect. The current indictments have been fueled by over 30 incidents that happened between June 2018 and July 2022.
That's over a 4-year span.
And names John Hartman, Nicholas Foti, Ian McKinney, Kyle Wood, Tyler Munson, Brian Stoll, and Larice Mans. Also indicted were Brian Parks, Daniel Toomer, Tristan Homan, and Trey DeHart Robinson as bad actors within the East Cleveland Police Department. Homan, who is currently a rookie cop, a rookie officer in the El Ria Police Department, was fired after his misconduct charges with East Cleveland were released on Wednesday. That's according to the Chronicle. El Ria Safety Service Director Matt Lundy said the charges were so disturbing, the city immediately started proceedings to end his employment. Online records show Homan, with the other 10, will be arraigned in Common Pleas Court on Tuesday, March 28th. Now, let's put him up. The city of El Ria.
City of El Ria.
The police chief, William Pelko, said, and I quote, "We at the police department do not condone or tolerate this behavior. With that said, we have had discussions with the city to move towards the termination of Officer Homan." We're good for them. Now, you all are supposed to be detectives. How come you didn't know this when you hired him? Did you talk to the previous department? Or did you just accept whatever the officer said on the application as true? Did you inquire with the previous department? You see,
Yeah, I was just saying, did you look at his background? Did you see what he did in the other departments like that? Did you do a thorough background check? I don't think they did.
if we would have already had the George Floyd Policing and Accountability
Yep.
Act in place, the information about this officer would have been available not only to the police department he ended up working at later, but to us, the citizens. It's a game changer. A game changer we simply do not have, but we should. All right? Ben, thoughts here?
You're exactly right to remind people about the still unpassed George Floyd Accountability and Policing Act. It's just mind-boggling again how you've got a government in this country that isn't able to even rubber stamp something as obvious as that. There should be a bill that comes up. Here's accountability in policing. The people who keep being caught being unaccountable and being far too violent and taking advantage of their office, we just don't make them accountable. Oh yeah, we're cool with that. Bipartisan. Almost every single person votes for it. No, the opposite.
Yep.
It's partisan. Republicans, for some reason, are against accountability in policing because it helps keep people of color down. It helps keep people in lower economic status down so they get to keep more.
I'll tell you what, man. Lately, it seems like the last couple months, Ohio, man, has just been turned to a shithole. Yeah. Hey, that's just my opinion. I mean, come on. You got bad cops, train derailments. I mean, shit, and especially you have the chemical bomb train that East Palestine experienced like that made people sick, that poisoned their water. That's how bad it is in Ohio. Bad cops, train derailments, bomb train exploding, crazy.
For the money for themselves. That's the way it always goes. And it still boggles the mind how police officers, they already are given a gun, they already are given a badge and the ability to enforce the law. That's not badass enough for them. They have to also abuse the power. And imagine, God forbid, what is happening to those that don't have body cameras. Thank goodness for body cameras that at least can hold these people accountable. They're doing it with cameras on them. I mean, that's
right.
the most...
Now I can see why Noli D a couple years ago wanted me to find out why Ocean Shores Police Department don't have dash or body cameras. Now I can totally see why. And I my old channel, I had an interview with the desk clerk if I can get the chief's email address. And I asked her, well, she didn't know because she's just reception like that. But that was a good question that unfortunately I never got answers back about police departments that don't have body or dash cams out there. Mostly they do have body or dash cams, but I totally understand why Noli D want me to find out, and I was on Ocean Shore, find out why Ocean Shores Police Department their officers don't have body cameras or they have dash cams like that. And she was also happy I did a first minute audit of the police station. So yeah, a couple more seconds and we're out of here.
Most insane thing you have to remember.
Yeah.
They're being filmed. They know they're being filmed.
Oh yes.
And they still do it. You should be fired from life, let alone from a police department.
God, they should never ever be working as a police department, or a police officer ever again. They should be fired. They should never even be a freaking security guard as well. We'll a couple more seconds. We're gonna wrap it up here.
It is insane. We will continue to follow this story.
Oh yes.
Ben, I believe more cops are going to be indicted.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if the whole East Cleveland Police Department is indicted. I would not be surprised. Anyways, my name is Mike. Peace out.